What's up, guys? Magical Libra here today, and I've got a Red Eyes Black Dragon deck profile. And you might actually think that, oh, this is going to be a really slow deck profile. Well, considering Red Eyes Black Dragon, yes, it's slow, but it's a very fun build, and it can be competitive depending on how you play this deck profile, or depending on what kind of side deck cards you want to side in between your matches. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get on into the main deck, guys. Now, you will be surprised on what I am playing and the number of cards I am playing in this deck. It is 40, but the amount of certain cards might surprise you. So without further ado, of course, we are going to be playing 2 Red Eyes Black Dragons. We do not need 3. You may argue against me on this, but it is a normal monster, guys. It can brick you. You cannot argue with me that playing a Red Eyes Black Dragon deck has never bricked you before. You have bricked. Let's be honest, guys. So let's go ahead and just play 2, because I think that's the perfect number. You don't really need 3, because you can continue to revive this back with the Return of the Red Eyes or Red Eyes Spirit or any other cards such as that. Now, of course, we're going to be playing 1 Dark Magician because, we need Dragoon because it just helps. We don't depend on it. That's the bad thing. We don't depend on it, but we do need it depending on who we go against. So he is a fusion material. So let's go ahead and move on into the other fusion material we play, and that is Gearfeed, the Red Eyes Iron Knight. You'll have to forgive me for about 10 proxies I play in the deck, including Iron Knight. I did have Iron Knight, but I gave him to my friend James, who his deck profile is on this channel. I gave my only Red Eyes Iron Knight to him because he wanted it. He's the Red Eyes player. I like to follow after him a little bit. So what Gearfeed Red Eyes Iron Knight does is it is a level 4 Dark Warrior effect monster with 1800 attack and 1600 defense. We mainly use it as a fusion material, but if you have it in your hand starting off, you can use it because of how we have the deck built. Its effect states that once per turn, if another player equips an equipped card or cards to this card, you can destroy those equipped cards. Then you can destroy 1 spell or trap your opponent controls. That's pretty good. So if you were to just equip your black metal and then activate effect, destroy it, destroy your opponent's card, you get to pop your opponent's spell and trap, and you get to have a free search. Its other effect states that once per turn, you can send 1 equipped card you control to the grave that is equipped to this card, then target 1 level 7 or lower Red Eyes monster in your grave to special summon it. So if you already have a black metal equipped, that's fine. Or if you just equipped it, don't pop it. Don't use the first effect. Use the second effect. I'm just going to send it to the grave so I can special another level 7 or lower from the grave, and black metal will then trigger and I get to draw cards or search a card. So it's also pretty good like that. But we do use it as fusion material to summon out our Red Eyes Dragon. Alright, so speaking of all those equipped cards that we were talking about, let's go ahead and play 3 Black Metal Dragon, because this is a really good level 1 monster that you can equip to all your Red Eyes cards, except for Dragoon, because he can't be targeted, and equipped cards continuously target. And for all those players that love playing just for fun and not competitive, just want to let you guys know that any equipped card that is equipped, if it is a monster, it is considered as an equipped spell card. It is no longer a monster. Just want to let you guys know that. So yeah. What Black Metal does is you can equip this to any Red Eyes monster that you control, and it gains 600 attack. But if this card were to be sent from the field to the grave, either as a monster or as an equipped card, don't matter, you can add a Red Eyes card from your deck to your hand, and that is not once per turn. So you can continuously do this if you know a continuous loop to keep searching cards. But yeah, it's also a good level 1 to go into your links, so that's also really good, and it helps boost your attack. Speaking of all the normal summons that we're playing, because you can normal summon this, why don't we go into our favorite normal summon, that is our Red Eyes Baby Dragon. Now, it is technically a slow card because it's a normal summon, and if you draw this card, it is strictly a normal summon, but depending on what you have in your hand, it could be a discard, so it could help you out further. But basically, Red Eyes Baby Dragon is a floater card, kind of like a giant rat or a pyramid turtle, that's what Red Eyes Baby Dragon is. It's a floater. So you'll activate Red Eyes Fusion if you got it, or use Anaconda, all that. Pull out your Dragoon, and then you're still able to normal set, because Anaconda says you can no longer special. Red Eyes Fusion says you can no longer normal summon or special summon. A set takes up your normal summon for the turn, but it's not a summon, it's a set. So you can just set the Baby Dragon, it's fine. And if Baby Dragon is destroyed by battle, it only works if it's destroyed by battle. You can then float into a Red Eyes card, a level 7 or lower Red Eyes monster from the deck, only from the deck, and you can equip Baby Dragon to it from the grave, and that monster gains 300 attack. But if this card were to be sent to the grave while equipped to a monster, you can add one level 1 dragon from the deck or the grave to your hand. So it also helps out that way. Speaking of, I guess the rest of our normal summons, we have Omni Dragon Brotar. So a really great card in the deck. It's level 1 as well. You got to make sure to watch out for its effect that states if a monster that you control is destroyed by battle or an opponent's card effect, to special it from the hand or grave. Once you do that, if it were to leave the field, it would be banished. So try not to use that effect if you can, but make sure you use it when it counts. Its other effect states that once it's special summoned, you can target a card that you control, I believe. Basically, you just target itself. That's the most important thing. You target itself to add a Dark Dragon, because this card is a Dark Dragon, from your deck to your hand. Or you can target maybe your Light Warrior, or whatever card, whatever monster you target, that's the type of card that you add. So whatever attribute it is and whatever type of monster it is, that's the type of card that you add from your deck to your hand. That's what Omni Dragon Brotar does. You can specifically read it. I'm not, because that's a really big text, and we're just going to go over it because that's the simplified version. Since we want Omni Dragon Brotar in the grave because we can just special it with its own effect, let's go ahead and go into the other cards we want in our grave, and that is our Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. Really great card to pitch to the grave using other cards. Neat thing about this, because everybody loves sending him to the grave with Comet Dragon, we are not playing Comet Dragon in the deck, and you will be surprised. I'm surprised. I'm like, wow, I can't believe I'm not playing that. But it's actually really good to not play it. We're not going for the burn damage. We're going for beat sticks. We're summoning out a whole bunch of beat sticks in this deck profile. And speaking of cards that we like to send to the grave, let's go ahead and play a Red Eyes Black Flare Dragon. We all know what this card does. You normal summon it again for the second time to gain its Gemini effect, and that is at the end of the battle phase, if it was involved in damage calculation or the damage step, something like that, that you can inflict damage to your opponent equal to this card's attack. Or is it original attack? It's original attack, my bad. So this helps go for games sometimes. I've definitely won quite a few games with this card by just normal summoning it, attacking, and then I end my battle phase, I activate Black Flare, inflict 24, I win. So, yeah. We also play one Red Eyes Archfiend of Lightning. Same thing, Gemini, normal summon it. Its effect, you can also boost its effect using cards that you can equip to it, like Black Metal. Its effect states that once per turn, you can destroy all face-up monsters your opponent controls with defense lower than this card's attack. Boost its attack up to like, what, 3K? What, 4K? Something like that, if you can. And then, oh, well, your defense is lower than 4K. Oh, destroyed. So they all get destroyed at the same time, so multiple effects that could activate upon destruction activate in chain, so you can't really chain to those until they get done going up to their chain. So want to make sure that is clarified too. For the last of the Red Eyes cards we play, of course, we play 2 Red Eyes Alternative Black Dragon, because we have a lot of Red Eyes monsters, as you can see, that we can just ditch and special. So generally, if you have alternative in your hand, generally it's not a brick because you don't have a Red Eyes card, So that's the whole focus of this deck, or that's the whole focus of me putting 2 in here, is that we have, I think, 4 Red Eyes monsters per one alternative and 4 per another alternative. So I think that's how many I have in this deck. I don't know. But yeah. Now for the last of the monsters, it's kind of more of an engine. And as you can see in the deck profile, this is where the dangers start to come in, because this is our Danger Red Eyes deck profile. So, of course, we have 3 level 7 Danger Dogma. It is also a 2400 beat stick. Hey, I only wish this card was a dragon. That'd be great. But anyway, all the Danger cards share the same effect, that you can reveal it, and then if you reveal it, then your opponent randomly discards a card from your hand, and if the card was not Danger Dogma, or the name of the card, you can special summon that card and then draw a card. All the Danger cards share that exact same effect. Then they have their additional separate effects that are different from each other, where if this card is discarded, you can do such effects. Those such effects include Dogma. His effect is that you make all your opponent's monsters lose 1,000 attack for the rest of the turn. We play 2 Danger Nessie, same effect. Its additional effect, that's separate from the rest, is that if it's discarded, I gotta make sure I read this right. If it's discarded, you can add a Danger card from your deck to your hand. So if you were to discard Nessie, you can just add Dogma, or you can add Danger Bigfoot. This Nessie is also level 7, but Danger Bigfoot is level 8. We don't play any level 8 rank 8 Xyz monsters in the deck, so big sad. These are the only 2 level 8s, so not really. That's not enough support to play rank 8. So yeah. But what Danger Bigfoot does, its discard effect, is that if it were to be discarded, you can target one face-up card your opponent controls and destroy it. So also it's a 3k beat stick, so that helps. That really does help us get over a lot of monsters early game. Now let's go ahead and move on into the spells. All right. So speaking of all those danger cards, let's go ahead and get into some cards that help us discard our danger cards, such as card destruction. Hey, look at that. I'm going to discard all my danger cards, and hey, look, they all got discarded. Hey, I'm going to chain 1, chain 2, chain 3, chain... Oh, that's great. But not to mention the danger cards, all of their discard effect is once per turn, but all of their first effect where you reveal, that's not once per turn. So you can just keep revealing the same name or all of them at the same time. It's okay. But the discard effect is only once per turn. So if you were to discard 2 Nessie, you can only do 1 search off of Nessie. Same thing with Bigfoot, and same thing with Dogman. So yeah. Also, it really helps screwing with your opponent just to discard the whole hand. We also play 1 Dark World Dealings, just to each player draws a card and discards a card. Well, hey, look, I'll just discard my Bigfoot and pop a card, so that's fine. Speaking of all the draw, we got 1 day apiece to help us survive a little bit. So each player draws a card, neither player takes damage until the end of your opponent's next turn. So, hey, hey, let me just activate 1 day apiece. All right, cool. Now I'm gonna go into Anaconda. All right. I'm pretty sure. I'm still not entirely sure how this works. But somebody let me know in the comments how 1 day of peace and paying the cost of Anaconda works. If I were to activate 1 day of peace and then activate one Anaconda effect after 1 day of peace resolves, am I allowed to activate Anaconda's 2,000 cost effect? Do I take the damage, or is it null and void, and do I just send a card from deck and continue the play? Or is it just not allowed to be activated at all? Someone that's a judge or someone that knows the ruling, please let me know. I have yet to look it up because I've just been focusing on a lot of other stuff. So it does leave opportunity for comments to blow up my messages. So that is what I want to see, absolutely, because the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community needs to be strong and stay together. Am I right? All right. So speaking of all this draw support, let's go ahead and continue with the draw. We have an Upstart Goblin just to help us draw. And then we have 2 Allure of Darkness, because all of our danger cards are dark as well. So it's fine if we banish 1. Since we're thinning our deck out, let's go ahead and play a Dragon Shrine. What are the targets for Dragon Shrine? It is our Red Eye. Here, let me get it. I can't remember the name. I never can remember the name. The Red Eyes Player Dragon. And then you can send the Darkness Metal or the Omni Dragon Brotar off of that. You can also send a Red Eyes Black Dragon, but I would not recommend it because you want to keep those in the deck for Red Eyes Fusion. Sadly, you cannot send the Archfiend because he is not a dragon. He's a fiend, so big sad. And let's go ahead and continue on with a lot of the one-ups, because as you can tell, some of the one-ups were limited cards. So let's go ahead and play Monster Reborn to bring back all of our dead cards in the grave, or our opponents, depending on what we need. We may need another different name to go into Phoenix, pop a card. And this last card, oh my god, guys. Oh my god. You are going to be like, why are you playing this card? And I'm going to tell you guys, this card has helped me a lot in this deck. And it is Scapegoats. Can you believe it? Scapegoats. No, you cannot summon cards with the tokens at all. The turn you activate Scapegoat, they can't be used for tribute summon, and you cannot summon any monster the same turn that you activate Scapegoat. So you wanna play Scapegoat, like set it, just set it in your back row, and then when your opponent attacks, okay, cool, you got rid of all my monsters. Oh, you still got enough damage to kill me? Oh, Scapegoat. All right, that's fine. Be left with 2 tokens. We can still survive with 2 tokens, right? All right, we can definitely use those for link plays, 100%. But if we have the room to activate Scapegoat, and our opponent doesn't attack us for some reason, or we just have the room and it's our opponent's end phase, we can do Scapegoat. All right, they pass turn during end phase, draw. All right, now we can use all those tokens for link plays, and it's awesome. It's great. Next, for I guess our Red Eyes spells and traps, we have 1 Red Eyes Insight to search all of our Red Eyes spells and traps. We do not ever search Red Eyes Fusion unless it is like 100% necessary, because we just happen to have a really bad hand, which can happen. It is a Red Eyes deck, guys, but it's not as bricky as it used to be. We mainly search our 4 Red Eyes spells and traps, but that's all good. It's all good. Also, it helps us ditch Red Eyes cards or Red Eyes monster from our deck to the grave. So we can send the Archfiend of Lightning with this. That way we can revive it back. So we'll send Archfiend of Lightning, and we'll search the Return of the Red Eyes, and we always control Red Eyes monster, just about. So we can just use the Red Eyes, summon the Archfiend, normal summon, and there you go. Next off, we have 2 Red Eyes fusions. This we're getting as our fusion spells, guys. We actually only have 2. I could have swore I had. We actually only have 4 fusions. I could have swore I had 5. Huh? Strange. It's a 40-card deck. I don't know where it went, but yeah, we'll count it. All right. Tell me, guys, if in the comments, count how many cards you counted in the deck profile, if there's 40 or not. But the Red Eyes Fusions, 1 Red Eyes Fusion is specifically for our Dragoon, all right? And the other one is specifically for the Red Eyes Slash Dragon. But we'll get back into the extra deck a little bit more once we get into that. Of course, we have the Claw of Hermos, because it's just a 1-card combo. It's really good. We play a lot of dragons, so it's fine. And we usually control at least 2 monsters that are dragons, so it's just always live. It almost never bricks on us. And the last for the fusions, just to screw with your opponent a little bit, it is Super Poly. Now, sometimes we do play targets in the deck that we Super Poly using our own cards, but that's very rare and hard and far and few between. But it can happen. Now, let's go ahead and move on into the traps, guys, which we are not playing a whole lot of traps, but it's still fine. We are playing 2 Return of the Red Eyes. Now, you're probably thinking it's really bricky, but no, we always control a Red Eyes monster. That's not a joke. That's not me bluffing. That is me being serious. We always control Red Eyes monster, and generally we have a normal monster engraved to use Return of the Red Eyes for. So we can always just revive back a normal, and just generally it's either Red Eyes Black Dragon or a Gemini, so we just keep reviving it back and using it for stuff. So, and the neat thing is that if it gets popped while face up, or I think just popped in general, yeah, if it just gets popped in general and goes to the grave, you get a special Red Eyes card, so it's good. Speaking of special summoning, because we are doing quite a bit of that with our spells and traps, we have 1 Red Eyes Spirit just to bring back our Dragoon if we need to, bring back any of our other Red Eyes cards, it's fine. And for lastly, the last Red Eyes trap, we have 1 Fang with Chain to help with all of our equip stuff. to equip onto our Celeste Dragon, our Iron Knight. It's all good. But the thing about this is that when you activate Red Eyes Fang Chain during the battle phase, so let's say your opponent declares an attack on your only Red Eyes Black Dragon, you activate Red Eyes Fang Chain, and you equip it onto your Black Dragon. That did not change the amount of monsters, so there is no replay. You did not stop the attack, so the attack is allowed to go through, and you are not allowed to activate Fang with Chain, because then you would have to stop the attack with it, which this card does not stop an attack. All it does is you can activate it separately to change the card that it's equipped to and equip their card to your card. But that does not work in the instance where your opponent attacks you. So just want to clarify that, because I realized that my best friend was doing that a lot, and I was doing it too until I realized that it didn't work that way. But anyways, let's go ahead and get on into the extra deck. Where's my soda? All right, so for the extra deck, we have 2 Red Eyes Dark Dragoons. Now, really and truly, we only need 1, but we're playing 2 because technically the second copy of Dragoon is a super poly target. That's what I meant earlier by that super poly comment, is that our second copy of Dragoon is a super poly target for us, or if we're going against a Dark Magician deck, which is fine too. So we use 1 Red Eyes Dark Dragoon with Red Eyes Fusion, the other Red Eyes Dark Dragoon with Super Poly if we choose to. If we don't, then it's just an extra card in the deck that we cannot play. Unless our opponent somehow gives us one of our Red Eyes Fusions, which can happen. It's happened. It can happen. Just saying. The other Red Eyes Fusion target is Red Eyes Slash Dragon. This card is really great because you don't equip a whole bunch of warriors to it. You mainly just equip your other equipped cards to it. And then if you were to control those equipped cards equipped to other monsters, you can still send them to the grave to activate Slash Dragon to negate the activation of your opponent's card. So that's also still good. And this card gets up to generally 3,700. Generally, sometimes 4K, so it's actually a pretty great card. And if it were to get destroyed, you can special summon back the equipped cards that were equipped to it. I think it's just the warriors. Nope, just as many monsters as possible from the grave that were equipped to it. So that's also pretty good. Now, if for some reason you were to not have Gearfried the Red Eyes Iron Knight to use it as a fusion material, maybe Gearfried's already in the grave, or your opponent took control of it, whatever, or it's banished, it's fine. You have another Red Eyes Fusion target, and it's a little bit harder, but we have an Archfiend Black Skull Dragon as the other Red Eyes Fusion target, because you can revive back the Archfiend Black Skull Dragon, or you can revive back the Archfiend of Lightning from the grave, and while it's on the field, it's a normal monster. So while it's in the grave, it's also a normal monster, but you can't use Red Eyes Fusion for it in the grave. It needs to be elsewhere. So you can revive back that from the grave and then play Red Eyes Fusion, and it's fine. So next up, you saw that Claw Hermos. So of course we have 1 Red Eyes Black Dragon Sword as a really big beat stick to just go over our opponent's cards and attack for game. So yeah, there is a situation. I'm not sure if you control no monsters and your opponent controls no monsters. I'm not sure if you can activate the Claw Hermos, because you can activate Claw Hermos and send a dragon from the hand. I'm not sure if you could activate Claw Hermos at all to special Red Eyes Black Dragon Sword. And because there's no monsters to equip, I'm not sure if it would just stay on the field or not. So I might have to look that one up too. Because you could just send a level 1 dragon from hand and just throw out a level 7 and then summon another level 7 going to an Xyz with the Black Dragon Sword. I'm just like, that's big brain play. Not sure if that's allowed though. Of course, for our super poly targets, also, like I mentioned, super poly target is also the extra Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. For the other super poly targets, which is our mains, we have 1 Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, because 2 darks on the field. And we have 1 Predaplant Drago Stipilia, or Drago Stipilia. which requires one fusion monster plus a dark monster. And I just got the idea that the glare might be bad, so I'm just going to check that. Yeah, it's not really that good. But, I mean, I'm naming the cards off. That way it helps you guys later. So, this also helps. Plus, it negates our opponent's monster's activate effects if we put a Predaplant counter on it with its effect. So that's also pretty good. And the Starving Venom, if it were to get destroyed, I destroy all your special summon cards. So, hey! Also, I gain the attack based on one card that you have. Alright, now we're going to move on into our Exceeds. So, we have one Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon, just to help burn our opponent a little bit. And we have one Dark Anthelion Dragon. So like I said, we're not here to burn our opponent. We're here to attack with beat sticks. So generally I'm trying to go for game. So I'm going to play a Dark Anthelion Dragon. Activates effect, detach a material, target your monster, half its attack and add that attack to mine. And then boom, swing for 3k. So I can do that twice per turn, but I can only attack once per turn with this card. So actually, no, I'm incorrect on that. Everything's once per turn on that card. Neat thing about this, though, is that if it were to be destroyed, it goes to your back pendulum zone, and then its pendulum effect is that once per turn. You can do its same effect from the monster effect. You half your opponent's attack, and that's it. You don't add the attack to any other monster, you just half it. So, yeah. That's all for our Exceeds monsters. Let's go ahead and move on into our links. Remember that Scapegoat we were talking about? Yeah. Link Karibo, Link Spider, Nightmare Phoenix. We play a lot of these. We play mainly these three off of that Scapegoat, but we can use our other level ones to play the Link Karibo, and we can use our normals to make Link Spider if we need to. But Link Karibo's has a nifty, neat effect that if our opponent were to attack with a monster, we can send Link Karibo to the grave, and that monster's attack becomes 0 for the turn. Link Spider's effect is useless. It's literally just used for Link climbing to turn a normal into an effect, so we can make our Phoenix or our Predaplant Vert the Anaconda or anything like that. Nightmare Phoenix, however, we do actually use its effect because sometimes we need to pop a spell or trap. So we'll discard a card and pop a spell or trap on our opponent's side of the field. And there you go. And then we'll use Phoenix to try and Link climb into something higher. Because Phoenix is a Link 2 and these two are Link 1s. For our other Link 2 monster, we have Predaplant Vert the Anaconda. Of course, you know what that card's used for. We use it to summon our Dragoon, or possibly send Red Eyes Fusion to summon any of our other cards, or possibly use it to summon Super Poly to do whatever. Except if we send Super Poly, our opponent can respond and negate Predaplant's effect. Then yeah, there you go. But you know, it can happen. Sorry, I've been talking a lot. I need to drink water. But for our highest Link combo, we have a Selene Queen of the Master Magicians. In order to make this card, you need 2 or more monsters, including a Spellcaster monster. So you need to add up to 3. So basic math. So you generally use this card by using a Dark Magician or your Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, and then your Selene Queen can, you know, depending on the number of spells, remove 3 counters, bring back your Dark Magician or your Dragoon, or you possibly could bring back Dark Magician, link the Dark Magician off into Link Spider, and then go Selene Queen and Link Spider because they're both effect monsters, and you can bring out Topologic Bomber Dragon. Or if you don't want to bring out Topologic Bomber Dragon, that's fine. You can just use Selene Queen and bring back the Dragoon, and there you go. But it's got to be in defense because that's the way Selene Queen works. So you can just bring that out and make that. But we use Selene Queen to climb up into our Topologic Bomber Dragon. It requires 2 or more effect monsters, so you got to add up to 4 because it's a Link 4. The effect of Topologic states that if another monster is special summoned to a zone a Link monster points to, not just him, any other Link monster, while this monster is on the field. It's automatic activation. It's not a choice. Destroy all monsters in the main monster zones. And if he's in the main monster zone, he self-destructs himself. Also, your other monsters cannot attack for the rest of this turn. Yeah. After damage calculation, if this card attacked an opponent's monster, inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's original attack. And it's 3k beat stick, so hey. But generally, I barely go into Top Logic at all. I mainly just go into the main deck stuff, along with a Dragoon or an Xyz. That's generally how I win. But sometimes, for late game, we can go Selene Top Logic and win that way. But guys, that is it for my Red Eyes Black Dragon deck profile. I hope you liked it. It is definitely very unique. When I found out about the danger cards, I was like, what? Dangers? Oh, wow, that's actually pretty good. It don't matter if they're discarded or not. It's actually pretty good. So I decided to add them in, and 2 of them were level 7. So I was like, hey, I can make Xyz monsters off of that. That's great. But anyways, I hope you guys like the deck profile. I really like it. It's very fun. Can be very competitive depending on how you look at it. So if you guys like the deck profile, make sure to leave a like down below and comment what was your favorite part about the video. And I'll see you guys next time. This is Magic Libra signing off. Peace out.